Long before the pyramids pierced the sky, a story began on the banks of a mighty river. While Mesopotamia is often called the cradle of civilization, another great power was rising in North Africa around 5500 BC. Nomadic groups settled along the world's longest river, the Nile. To the early Egyptians, this river wasn't just water, it was a godsend. They called it the Great River. Each year, its floods deposited a rich, dark silt, creating a fertile paradise in the middle of the desert. They called their home Kemet, the Black Land, a testament to this life-giving soil. Just like in Mesopotamia, farming became the engine of their society. Villages thrived, especially in the Nile Delta where the river fanned out into the Mediterranean. These settlements grew into bustling, independent cities, each with its own ruler, but the stage was set for something much, much bigger. Around 3100 BC, a king from the south, from Upper Egypt, decided it was time to unite the land. History knows him by many names. Some call him Narmer. Others refer to an honorary title, Minos, meaning he who perseveres. This semi-legendary figure, believed to be a descendant of the god Horus, launched a campaign to conquer the north, and he succeeded. He fused Upper and Lower Egypt into a single, powerful kingdom, becoming the very first pharaoh and kicking off Egypt's legendary dynastic era. Narmer established a new capital, Memphis, strategically placed on the Nile. It quickly became a bustling hub with workshops, crafting, pottery, textiles, and dyes that were shipped all across the new empire. But unification wasn't without its challenges. Neighboring tribes in Nubia and Lebanon resisted Egyptian control, leading to frequent conflicts. To secure his rule, Narmer may have made a strategic marriage to a northern princess named Neotep, making her Egypt's first recorded queen. Some evidence even suggests she might have ruled as the first female pharaoh after his death, co-founding the dynasty. This brings us to one of the most unique aspects of Egyptian society. Unlike many other ancient cultures, women could rule. The pharaoh wasn't just a king. They were considered divine, a direct link between humanity and the gods, with a bloodline tracing back to Horus himself. If a woman shared that sacred lineage, she could ascend to the throne. The pharaoh was the ultimate authority, the head of state, commander of the army, chief justice, and high priest, all rolled into one. From childhood, royal heirs were rigorously trained in warfare, politics, religion, and the complex art of writing. But a pharaoh's life was far from secure. The threat of invasion or a coup was ever present. To reinforce their divine authority, grand ceremonies like the Opet festival were held to spiritually rejuvenate the ruler's power. Surviving for 30 years was a major milestone, celebrated with huge festivities. When a pharaoh died, it was not an end but a transition, marked by elaborate rituals to ensure their safe passage into the afterlife. Around 2686 BC, Egypt entered one of its most glorious phases, the Old Kingdom, also known as the Age of the Pyramids. By now, the empire was well established, trading with distant lands like Lebanon and Mesopotamia. This brought immense wealth, fueling an explosion in art and architecture. Temple and palace walls were covered in incredibly precise paintings. Artists used minerals, plants, and even animal blood to create vibrant colors that have lasted for millennia. These artworks give us a stunning window into their world, showing scenes of daily life, harvests, coronations, and religious ceremonies. The economy was a well-oiled machine. Officials meticulously recorded everything, collected taxes, and organized massive labor forces for farming and construction projects. The military also became more sophisticated. Soldiers were equipped with leather armor, large wooden shields, and the iconic curved Koppish sword. However, this golden age came to a dramatic end. Around 2200 BC, a devastating, prolonged drought struck the region. The Nile's floods failed, leading to widespread famine and chaos. The central government collapsed, and local governors became warlords, carving out their own territories. It took a powerful ruler from the city of Thebes, Mentuhotep II, to finally crush his rivals and reunite the land. His victory marked the beginning of the Middle Kingdom, a period of renewal. Irrigation systems were rebuilt, magnificent monuments rose once more, and military campaigns pushed south into Nubia. During this era, the Egyptians' focus on death and the afterlife became even more refined. The tradition of pyramid building, which had started with the step pyramid of Djoser, designed by the brilliant architect Imhotep, continued. These weren't just tombs, they were cosmic symbols representing the primordial mound from which the Egyptians believed the world was created. The massive pyramids at Giza, along with the Great Sphinx, were originally encased in polished white limestone, some even capped with gold, shining like beacons of divine power. Building these wonders was a monumental undertaking. Tens of thousands of workers, a mix of paid laborers and enslaved people, quarried and transported colossal stone blocks using the Nile and enormous ramps. At the heart of it all was the pharaoh's body. Mummification was perfected to preserve the body for resurrection. The tombs were filled with everything the pharaoh would need in the afterlife: treasures, furniture, food, and even mummified pets. In early times, servants and wives were sometimes sacrificed to join their ruler, though this practice faded by the Middle Kingdom. The sarcophagus itself was often carved in the pharaoh's likeness, a spiritual name tag for when their soul returned. As Egypt entered the New Kingdom, it became a true military superpower. Pharaohs hired mercenaries, developed advanced battlefield tactics, and built a powerful navy. Great conquerors like Thutmose I and his grandson, Thutmose III, expanded the empire's borders deep into Syria and Palestine. Thutmose III's victory at the Battle of Megiddo is the first battle in history to be recorded in extensive detail, a testament to Egypt's military might. But the new kingdom also had its share of internal drama. The pharaoh Akhenaten tried to spark a religious revolution, declaring that only one god, the sun Disk-Ortin, should be worshipped. This radical move alienated the powerful priesthood and the public. His wife, Queen Nefertiti, remains famous today for her iconic bust. After Akhenaten's death, his religious experiment was abandoned. His young son Tutankhamun took the throne at just 9 years old. Ruling through a regent, he restored the old gods. King Tut died tragically young, around the age of 18, and was buried in a tomb in the Valley of the Kings. For thousands of years, he lay undisturbed, a minor pharaoh lost to history. But in 1922, the British archaeologist Howard Carter made the discovery of a lifetime. He found Tutankhamun's tomb almost completely intact. The treasures inside gave us an unprecedented look into the wealth and culture of ancient Egypt and sparked the modern legend of the Pharaoh's curse. From its humble beginnings on the Nile to its colossal monuments that still defy imagination. The civilization of ancient Egypt stands as a powerful symbol of resilience and innovation. Through drought, invasion, and internal strife, its people created a legacy of art, architecture, and ideas that continues to capture our hearts and minds today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from our incredible past.